What's up? Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time, my name's Colin and I live on 4.5 acres in the mountains of southern Mexico in this cabin with my wife and son. If this is not your first time, I just want to say thank you so much for subscribing or just returning. That really does mean a lot to me. I haven't published for about 2 weeks now, and that's just because I was in Mexico City with my wife, son, in-laws celebrating my son's first birthday. So as you can see, he loved it. Anyways, we're back here at the cabin and I'm going to be continuing on my outdoor shower and bathhouse. Where I left off, let's see, I'll throw something up real quick. I was hauling all the cement down. I was digging holes. I was finding square. I had a buddy come and we mixed the cement together by hand and we poured. And that was all, we finished all that up about 2 weeks ago. So I've got about 2 weeks to allow this cement to dry. So it's definitely dry now. So big thing is I want to find level. So let's get over here and dive into what we're doing today. I have my rough cut 2x6, and this was a really straight one that I liked. I've got the crown, so there's always going to be a side that's just slightly curved upwards, and that'll be the top side. So the crown, that's right there. So I'm going to be using this board, my rough cut 2x6, to measure or to find if everything's level across on my 4 sides. But first off, I'm going to be using my angle grinder and cutoff wheel to just kind of cut out these pieces of rebar or Armex on the top, and then that way I can get right in here. I'm gonna leave these long for now, these vertical pieces, cut those and maybe like bend them in and use them just to kind of lock things in place once I'm happy with square and whatnot, but we'll get that later. So first off, I'm gonna just clean these up a little bit, my Armex, and then we will get to the moment of truth and see that everything is perfectly level without problems. Okay, let's go. All right, moment of truth. First side, let's see if we can get 4 out of 4. I really don't want to have to fight this too much. If I can get within the lines, I'm going to be happy with that. It doesn't have to be exact, but I think that'll be enough to work with. So, we'll see. This seems about right. Get my 4-foot level on here. Make sure there's no particles or anything that's going to interfere. Let's see. Come on. Oh! Yeah, that is nice. Okay, let's check that out. I'll get in here nice and close. Can you see that? I see it, and I'm liking it. So, let's go on to the next one. All right. So here's our second one. See, got our crown up, get our 4-foot level. It looks like it's just ever so slightly high on this side over here. Like we're talking, I don't know, this is a cool trick. I don't know if you knew, but you can find how much off you are just by lifting one end of your level. And when you have larger distances, the longer level you have, the better. So ideally, like a 6-foot level would be cool with this, but 4-foot is just fine for what I need. So if I raise this up on this side to make my level in comparison to what I currently have, I'm only up like a centimeter, not much. So maybe even if I dust this off a little bit more, let's see. That didn't help as much as I'd like. Okay, so maybe I will have to do what my other plan was, which I'll explain here in a moment. Let's finish this off. We got 2 more sides. And I will bring my rough cut 2x6, tuba 6, right over here, and show me the money. Let's see what we got. So, consistent with our last one, showing me that this column in this corner might just be ever so slightly high. So once again, we are just like kissing that line. Still not terrible. Definitely something I can work with. Check it out. There we go. Not so bad. Okay, so far I'm pretty happy with all this, and just by process of deduction, these three, I mean, I'm thinking we're probably gonna be in the ballpark with this last one. Let's take a gander. Here we go. Right on there. And this one shows that I'm ever so slightly low over here. So I would have to either drop that side down. Okay, let me explain what my solution is. Since I don't have anything that I can level with, what I'm gonna end up doing is taking material out of my floor joist, just on the part that's touching. And it looks like, from what I see, it's not gonna be a whole lot. So in order to do that, I am gonna be using my angle grinder, but obviously not this cutoff wheel. I'm gonna be using these sanding discs that are specially made for angle grinders. I had never seen these before, and what had happened is I was purchasing sanding discs for my orbital sander, and I didn't look properly, and I accidentally bought a whole bunch of these. So I've been playing with them, and I actually really like them. I have 3 different grits, so this is the most aggressive grit that I have. So this will take out a lot of material really fast. So I'm gonna be using this with my angle grinder just to slowly strip away what I need to bring my 2x6s to perfect level. And I'll probably do that after I get everything square and kind of in place and make some marks. And I don't know, I'll chew on that, but for now, I'm gonna cut my 4 side pieces to length. The way I'm gonna do this is I'm just gonna kind of butt each side up like so. So each one will be exactly short of my 8 feet by the width of the board, if that makes sense. So these are actually about 1 3/4. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut each of my 2x6s, my rough cut 2x6s, down to 7 foot 10 1/4 inches. And then that way, once I get them all butted up and nailed together, I will have my exact 8x8 square. So I think that makes sense. I'm gonna move forward with this, double check obviously before cutting, and move on with my life. Let's go. So I thought about it, and I'm actually not gonna mess with using this sanding disc to get everything level. I mean, it's so close, it's in the lines. I'm not gonna make a huge deal about it, so I'm actually just gonna move on. At this point, I've got everything in place, boards cut down, I've got the pattern that I want. My idea is I'm just gonna pop a single nail in each one and try to get my corners as centered as possible where I want them, as well as check my diagonal to get everything square. Once I'm happy with centered on my columns and square, I will finish putting in my last 2 nails. I'm gonna do 3 total in each connection. And yeah, we'll go with that for now. I'm getting sick of just bouncing back and forth, checking diagonal, so I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna grab a sheet of my 1/2-inch plywood, and since I'm not gonna be ripping those down or anything, it's all factory edge and perfectly square, so I'm gonna put one down on one side, get everything squared up to that piece of plywood, and just run with that, because honestly, this is bothering me, and I need something different. I'm happy with square, and as far as centered, I didn't nail that one, so I'm a little off center on all these, but that's why I chose the 30 centimeter wide columns, just so I had all that extra landing space. So honestly, I mean, I'm pretty happy with all this contact. It's It's only an 8x8 square, so I'm just gonna roll with that. I mean, it's on there on all sides. So I'm going to attach these, finish putting in my nails, and for now, so I don't lose my spot, I'm just going to make like a little mark on my sides in the cement so I can line back up just in case I knock anything or whatnot. I am using half-inch plywood for the subfloor just because there's not going to be much weight on it. I'm also going to be putting a cement board on top of it and then tile, so I think it should be plenty strong for what I need, which is not a whole lot, so I'm just going to go with that. It was a lot cheaper, lighter for getting down here. As far as the rest of my floor joist, I'm going to do 16 inches, 16 on center, so every 16 inches I will have a floor joist, and that way it works with my sheet goods so that it lands right. Basically the only important one really is that 4-foot mark in the middle, so it lands half on, half off, so the other board can share the other piece of plywood. And then I'm just gonna do a row of blocking in the center just to reinforce everything and make it real sturdy. So let's do that. I've got my 16 inches on center all marked out for both sides. And the floor joists that I'm going to be connecting here are all going to be 92 5/8 inches. So I'm going to cut all those down and install them. I'm not going to be installing any joist hangers on these. Just they're hard to come by, and I just don't see it as really necessary. Between like the plywood, the blocking, everything being stitched together with nails, as well as the cement board and then tile. So I think it should be plenty strong. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I've got all my floor joists cut to length, and I've got them marked for where the crown is gonna be. I thought somewhere. Yep, okay, crown side here. So I'm thinking I'm gonna use Brad here to just tack them in place since I am working alone, and hopefully I can drive these nails home afterwards. So let's see how that plays out. Let's see, I'm gonna get Brad nice and close, hang out there. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see how this works. I'm starting at the top here. Get that where I want it. Nice and up. You're 2 inches. So I'm just barely getting in there. Seems to go right. There's like a hair long on these. Just barely. Okay. There we go. Okay. Oh, yeah, I gotta look up Brad how they make like going up here. See that? Does it get in there? Okay. Maybe. I don't know. Let's try again over here. Yeah, that was just barely, and that looks like a 1/4 inch. So. Okay, maybe Brad's not the tool for the job, or maybe I'm just doing it wrong. Let me try again. Bah! Ah! Maybe over there. Bah! Toma! Okay, well, it's in position like that. It's holding. I think I can throw some nails in. So for all of this, I'm using 3-inch nails. Well, that's about as much of, I don't know, framing out this floor as I want to do today. Tomorrow I'll finish the blocking, and I'll also do a stain of burnt motor oil and diesel, and then I will put my plywood on top and fix that. And that's all I have materials for. So I'm gonna probably leave this video at this, and as I'm going, I'll just do little chunks and keep putting it under the playlist for this bathroom build. But in the meantime, in between those pieces and updates, I'm going to be doing other videos and kind of exploring different avenues and things. So stay tuned. If you're into it, keep following along this playlist. If not, let's do some other fun things. My name's Colin. Once again, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will catch you on the zip side. Bye.